I honestly don't think it will ever happen, to be honest. And I'm from Quebec City, and I would be all in to see the Quebec Nordiques come back, but I'm just being realistic out here. I don't think it will ever happen. And yet, like I said, I'm living in Quebec City right now. I never saw the Nordiques because I'm too young, and I would want to see them come back. I mean, we have a pretty nice arena, the city's pretty cool and all of that, but realistically, as long as Gary Bettman will be here at least, it will never happen. I mean, you guys probably all saw the rumors restart with the Arizona Coyotes arena project getting declined by the citizens of Tempe. I mean, the entertainment district in Tempe is not happening. I mean, it was a pretty nice idea, pretty nice project, and it would have been great for the Coyotes if it went through, but it's not happening. So now the Arizona Coyotes are stuck at Mullet Arena for at least one more season, and afterwards, they kind of have nowhere to go. I mean, even though it worked pretty well for the first season of the Coyotes at Mullet Arena, it's not an NHL caliber arena. I mean, 5,000 people in an arena is not enough for the National Hockey League, who's trying to expand into like other countries and all of that. Oh yes, it's practically impossible that long term the Coyotes stay in Mullet Arena. I mean, there's still a possibility that they might move in with the Phoenix Suns, at least for a temporary state after the contract with the Mullet Arena finishes. But for me personally, it's really unlikely. I mean, hockey in Arizona is just not as big as other sports, and it's just how it is. Like, you can't change that. And even though it would be probably one of the best things the NHL could do to bring the Coyotes in Quebec and bring back the Nordiques, I think it would be like really good for the league. I mean, Canada is a hockey country. The province of Quebec loves hockey, and we've seen it with the Ramparts right now. I mean, the Ramparts have been selling out the arena for their playoff performances. Right now, they are in the final of the QMJHL, and the tickets have sold out for Game 5 in less than 30 minutes. I mean, the arena capability is like of 19,000, I think it is. So for the Quebec Ramparts to sold out that arena for a junior hockey game in less than 30 minutes is kind of crazy. I mean, people in Quebec City love their hockey, and an NHL team over there would work perfectly fine. There's always the people that say, yes, it's a junior hockey game, it's not as expensive as an NHL game. I mean, have you ever checked the tickets in Arizona or in Florida during a season? They're getting sold sometimes for less than $50. That would not happen in Quebec. Like, I mean, it can't be worse than that. Just look at Montreal. Yes, there's a lot more money involved in Montreal than in Quebec City, but even on Monday nights in the middle of February, the tickets are getting sold for a minimum of at least $125. Right now, the Florida Panthers are in the Eastern Conference Final, and you can probably find yourself some tickets for less than $100 Canadian. That would not happen in Quebec City because people just love hockey. And by bringing a team to Quebec City, you would not only attract people from Quebec City, but you would attract people from other parts of the province of Quebec as well. People from Saguenay or people that are closer to Quebec City than they are from Montreal would come see the Nordiques as well instead of going to Montreal. And it would 100% give out more money to the NHL than the Florida Panthers do because they're not selling tickets in the regular season, and the Arizona Coyotes don't even have an arena, and they're not selling more than 5,000 tickets right now because they don't have an arena that's bigger than 5,000 places. So to think that Gary Bettman doesn't want to bring a team back to Quebec is kind of crazy because like the excuse of no, there's not enough money over there doesn't work because you're not selling tickets in so many cities. Just look in Florida, just look in Arizona. And I can guarantee you that when the Vegas Golden Knights are going to be entering a rebuild, it's going to be rough selling tickets over there as well. As for Quebec City, it will be always full. Because I would want to remind you guys that the team did not left because they were not selling tickets. The team left because the owner didn't want to pay to upgrade the arena for it to be eligible into what the NHL asked for. So yes, a team would 100% work in Quebec City, but why is it impossible for them to come back? Well, first of all, Gary Bettman is one of the reasons why. I mean, I feel like Gary Bettman would probably rather see the Atlanta Crashers come back to the NHL than see the Quebec Nordiques come back to the NHL. Even though for 2 times the franchise in Atlanta didn't work. I mean, people were not interested into hockey in Atlanta. For some reasons, I think that Bettman would be more interested to go back to Atlanta than come back into Quebec. Yes, I know Atlanta is a big city. Yes, I know there's a lot of money in Atlanta, but it doesn't mean anything when people in the city are not interested in hockey. Another of the reasons why I think the Nordiques are really unlikely to come back is Jeff Molson and Montreal Canadiens. I mean, the NHL is already selling to the people in Quebec City because they're watching the NHL via the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, most people like me who were born after the Nordiques left are Montreal Canadiens fans because the only team we saw in Quebec as growing up were the Montreal Canadiens. So we're consuming the NHL by the Montreal Canadiens. So why would he expand to Quebec City when the people in Quebec City are already consuming the NHL? People in Atlanta are not watching much of the NHL. Same thing for people in Houston. Same thing for people in Kansas City. So by expanding in those cities, you're bringing in new customers. And it wouldn't be great for Jeff Molson as well. I mean, Jeff Molson gets some people from Quebec City to come in Montreal and watch the team play. There's a lot of people in Quebec City that are fans of the Montreal Canadiens. So by giving Quebec a new team, Jeff Molson would lose some customers as well. So it's not an advantage for Jeff Molson when you're looking at this marketing-wise to let the Nordiques come back in Quebec. Because you're not the only team in the province of Quebec anymore if the Quebec Nordiques come back. So you're going to lose some money, that's for sure. So for me personally, I think that the Arizona Coyotes are going to stay in Arizona at least short term. At least I think for the rest of the 2020s, they're going to be in Arizona. But if they were ever to move out, I think that the most likely place for them to go will be Houston. I mean, they have an arena already. They're closer to Arizona. They're a city that could bring new customers, and they are in the United States. They could stay in the same division and all of that. So it will be like a better fit for the NHL to just move the Coyotes to Houston if it's necessary. So yeah, even though I want it to happen, I really don't think that the Nordiques are ever going to come back into the National Hockey League, unfortunately. So yeah, let me know what you guys all think about this in the comments below. Give me your opinion, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, share, do anything as you want. And it's been your boy, Tropical NHL. Have a nice rest of your day, and bye-bye.